side of the draft, gameplay-wise, is there anyone that we wanna pressure on the side of Vitality? Who can be the hero for the team?
It needs to be Lyncas and Fleshy stepping up.
All right.
Because I don't see KC individual laners are really going to falter, but I think if they can link up well, if they can get pressure on the map, that's how you really beat a team with such good laners as KC.
Exactly, and that's what we saw yesterday. That's exactly how they persevered against Na'Vi. It's just they were just enabling each other so well. So now heading into the draft already, we do see the Pantheon and Maokai taken out, which is honestly a little bit bizarre coming from blue side, because I would expect that these are some of the first picks that I would have expected KC to prioritize going forward.
Especially the Pantheon, I feel like it fits very well with how fast KC are looking to play and how much Yike wants to pressure the rest of the map. I can understand the Maokai, it's kind of like a noob-friendly champion.
It is Lyncas. Honestly, when I think of Lyncas and I'm thinking Lyncas over the years, I'm thinking Maokai.
Yeah, he's been a big Maokai player for sure. I can definitely see that.
So, okay, they banned the Niko, but now Wukong is left open, because I was thinking that already KC is starting to pressure the jungle here with the bans, with Nautilus especially being, you know...
Vi is open. I didn't even remember Vi. I mean, Vi being open is quite criminal, I think.
Really? But it's Yike Vi.
Even Yike's Vi? No, it's
okay,
fine.
it is Yike Vi, that's true. But this champion, I mean, it has had
over Wukong.
Very high pick ban and has been very, very strong. We saw it. I think it was Vital. No, it was SK versus Team Heretics, where it just looked unplayable for Flacket to play against the Vi. You really want something like the Saya, something that can really peel for both carries. So we'll get to see what Vitality can find here.
Yeah, I'm looking at Vitality. I mean, I do expect the Wukong to come in, because once you decide to just go on red side again, you just want to utilize counter picks. Ryze pretty much screams proactivity from the mid lane. You want to get Czajek involved, because I do feel like even in spring, when we were seeing Czajek persevere and have one of his better games was on this Talia, on this Ryze, that he's just roaming across the map, finding, you know, unlocking pretty much everyone else, especially top lane with Nako. So I do hope that now they're going for this sort of 2v2 mid-jungle style, where they can unlock each other and transfer this pressure to other lanes.
But for me, it reinforces the fact that they want to have prior lanes, because Ryze playing from behind, that's going to be even more unplayable than the previous game. Jarvan is locked in, so is that the kind of jungle mid-duo that you want to expect here?
I would definitely think you'd go for something more like the Wukong or more of a carry jungler, because usually you want to have, like, if you have a setup mid, you want more of a carry jungler that doesn't necessarily need CC, but now they have both CC, jungle, and mid, which is incredibly good at ganking. It's just you kind of get outscaled really, really fast if they end up picking a more scaling mid laner towards the KC side. And you have Canna,
Canna and Jayce.
Yeah, first Jayce of the split for Canna.
Oh, someone left it open finally.
Yep. Yeah.
Because I feel like for the past two splits, everyone was just terrorized by Canna's Jayce, and now seeing it open at the same time, it is a target for them, and the Annie is coming through. Already, I feel like KC is finding great firepower here with very strong top lane. I feel like there's barely any counters to the Jayce right now. The Annie maybe not the strongest mid, but at the same time, you look at the combo, you look at the Annie, you look at the Vi, they work together so well, so that I have point and click on both of them. And the Yorick is one of the more annoying Jayce matchups, because realistically, Jayce is just gonna bonk Yorick's head and, you know, the ghouls for pretty much 6 minutes. Yorick gets level 6, summons his wife, and then it just becomes easy for him to just get prio and shut down the Jayce. So I'm looking at this as more of a neutralizer here.
All right.
So the goal of this Yorick pick is really just to shut down the Jayce after laning phase and always match him inside. And
I would say,
do you outscale him inside eventually, or?
I would say it's a little bit more of a team diffy there, because I do feel like there's a time where Jayce will get 1, 2, 3 items, and I feel like if he itemizes well, there's a chance that the Yorick is getting one shot when he walks around. So now I do like the Ezreal bans. You want to ban pretty much any, I mean, you know your terror of an ADC playing against Jarvan. You don't like having
Jarvan
sort of
and Yorick.
Try to remove all the dashes, and the Vi team is removing the Saya. Maybe they're even going to take away something like, I don't know, the Thresh. Just anything that can provide any sort of self-peel against this Vi is what you really want to try to remove.
I'm already looking at KC. I'm thinking that there's Jinx Thresh is open. Pretty much anything that takes you out of the Jarvan cage, I feel like already should be...
It's a rare game where I think Thresh is kind of good for both teams here, when normally it's not the greatest in the meta right now.
Let's see. And the Sivir Xayah out here. So I do think that KC would be looking for Hyperscaler here, but the question is, what does Vitality want to round out their comp here? Because I'm thinking the likes of Corki, maybe for Carzzy.
Yeah, you could go towards the Corki route. Looks like they're actually going to go Alistar and delay ADC for 5. The problem with this is it's, even when you get counter pick on ADC, usually you don't get too much value. But But maybe if Casey wants to try to blind pick something that's a little bit more risky in the bot lane, then Carzzy can pull something out.
My assumption is that they just believe this Alistar to be extremely strong, because usually you want to use your counter pick on support, but now when you think, okay, well, there's no counter pick to the Alistar, I can get an OP pick that the enemy cannot really do anything, then it is worth to give up that counter pick because it's technically uncounterable from at least their beliefs.
And ends up being Corki going for Caliste. And then probably just something like the Nautilus maybe for Targamas. I don't think he's going to want to go for a range support here.
I do think they have enough. Ooh, the set would make sense. I do think they have enough engage and snap engage with the Vi and the Annie that he kind of has freedom in what he can pick here. I feel like he can take this draft in any direction and it still looks like a good draft for Casey. The set would be exciting.
The set
I see Targamas smiling. So, oh no. Come on, do it. No, okay. I was like, okay, let's keep it simple.
So when you have a comp that has such a clear identity, why not add one more, you know? Just like hit the nail on the head, get more engaged, and just make it impossible for pretty much Carzzy on whatever he picks here to survive. Because I do think that when I look at this comp already, you are looking to kill.
Running it back.
Well, the Ziggs is
Jarvan. Put him in the cage.
I don't really like it.
I like it.
I kind of like it.
Yeah,
I'm just not sure if that's the way Vitality can win this series, but I think it's a good comp.
So look at it from Casey's perspective. Your whole identity of your team comp is to find and dive the enemy backline. But are you diving the Ryze that is building tanky? Are you diving the Ziggs that is standing a mile away? You have Alistar to peel off from you. So realistically, this will, I think, turn out to be one of these team comps from Casey where they just having the threat of the backline walking forward will deter Vitality from moving forward, and then it just becomes a battle of like which frontline survives more.
But that's for later. We've talked about early game and more agency for Vitality. So do we have this now?
For sure.
More?
Definitely.
They have a lot more agency. For me, this game is all about mid and top. If they can carry and be strong in sides, they can make so much pressure happen.
Then let's hope for the Beast that is going to be the winning matchup and the winning combo here to come back against Casey. One more win for the Blue Wall, and they lock in first in their group. Let's time to set it to the Riftcasters. Over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Laure. And first of all, we have a laundry list of announcements for you all. Dagda, start us off. Go, quick. We don't have much time.
So, I found out yesterday that if you keep going north, eventually you will be going south. But if you keep going east, you will never actually go west. You'll just keep going east.
Because you go over the poles.
Yeah.
Do you hear that? Everyone think about that. Go break your brain while we get into game 2. And I'll tell you what's at stake. If you keep going north, you'll eventually be going south. But if you keep going east, you'll always be going east. The world is round. To some people it is not, but you guys are silly. Okay, now listen in. There's a lot at stake for both teams. KC have not only a lock-in for first with this win, but also they have the fastest LEC best-of-3 time ahead of them if they can win this game within 27 minutes and 51 seconds. If they win this game within 20 minutes and 42 seconds, it is the fastest LEC best-of-3 in history.
Yeah, that'll be a tough one, I'm going to say.
It is pretty impossible without
Baron anymore until 25 minutes makes that a very difficult one. But last game was a little bit of a stompy, so maybe KC can make the magic happen. But the 27-51, I'll definitely be keeping in my head.
Yeah, that's right. So fastest best-of-3 in 2025. That's on the horizon. Now, I didn't say it before, but there are really big stakes for Vitality as well. They simply need one game. If Vitality win a single game in this series, they'll lock top 4, and Na'Vi will be our first team eliminated in the LEC 2025 summer. They will be confirmed out 0-3. They're hanging on by a thread right now. But Vitality, they can be kingmakers of themselves, get themselves into the cross-play playoff deciders, which are not playoffs, but are playoffs. And that means that they get another chance. They get a best-of-5 to fight the 3rd seed of the other group. Which is huge. I mean, best of 5 could be, you know, anything could happen. So a big deal to remember here. That's what is all on the line for. Because we're getting towards the end of our regular season, Dagda. This is KC's last series before they get into playoffs, before they, you know, play their best of 5 in the upper side of the bracket. It's the last look of KC in this 1 or maybe 2 games, depending on how this goes.
It's a nice start from Lyncas, though. He's got into this topside quadrant of KC, managed to steal away all the camps here. And now he's going to be able to go back in towards his own jungle. And I am, like, Yike might be able to figure this out by the fact that Lyncas hasn't been spotted on that ward that was placed over by the Vitality blue.
Oi.
Yeah, he definitely knows that something's up now.
Look at the timing as well. Lyncas has already backed away. He's got his recall off, so Yike's next move is pivotal. He's going to go for a topside invade, but you can see Lyncas is there to cover. Yike's going to queue over the wall, and he avoids vision, I believe.
But look at where Lyncas is going. So usually you'd see people try and move back down towards their bot side here to try and protect against the invade on the lane that's pushing in, but Yike now has avoided this and actually gone for the gank.
Vladi has stun, there it is, and Czajek won't be able to flash yet. Bolt breaker in, Czajek flashed, but it's going to be late matched out, and Yike turns it into a gank first blood.
Brilliant adaptation from Yike. Actually just goes for the play mid, and now because you've got a ward on the top side and in this bottom side, and Lyncas hasn't shown up, Yike is just free to go for this invade. He is push on bot, has control over the mid, and Lyncas now desperately trying to get back to his bot side now to defend against this takeaway.
I think he took Krugs and now he's like beelining, right? He's like, okay, I've got to steal this back, get some tempo on my side. Yike smites it though, Targamas with good help, and Caliste is moving up to help zone. That's an engage from Fleshy, but Carzzy won't be able to follow up too much from a bouncing bomb and a satchel charge. That's about it, with Scuttle being taken on bot. It's a recall for Yike, who assisted in the first blood.
Yeah, I think Yike wants to reset and try and march his way up towards this top Scuttle Crab just to guarantee himself another camp. You can see basically he's got absolutely nothing. Actually moving back down towards this bottom side. I wasn't sure if he wanted to try and go for the top Scuttle just to, as you see Lyncas moving back up towards this top side, and you would have the better reset, but not going to be the case. Happy to just continue on to the bottom end.
Targamas close with the Zenith Blade as Carzzy, the bouncing bombs on the full. When you have someone like Orcs as a Zoggs main, sorry, Ziggs main, called Zoggs, you know, you look at all these little... You know when someone plays a champion long enough in League of Legends and you just think, man, that guy must, like, sleep... I feel like Orcs is that with Ziggs. I feel like you're that with Thresh. You must dream of Thresh hooks, no? Have you had League of Legends dreams where you dream the champion?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, when you dream the mechanic... I did it with like the 200 Renekton games or something. I was thinking, I'm like, oh, that Ruthless Predator wasn't at 50 Reign of Anger, and my problem was the slice and dice I used it to go in instead of just quick burst trading. I had dreams like being Renekton. That's
was it from like a first-person POV, or was it still?
I had both. I was playing as Caliste is out with Valkyrie. Quick heal from Targamas to help out. Nice engage. Lyncas is back on the top side. I'll bring us back to the game because this is important. The jungle invade, the repeat on timers. Yike is there to cover.
The thing is, though, Lyncas has no push top, not really control on mid, and also doesn't have the back reset that he needs to match on items. So this is where it's a little bit of a risky one. He just kind of needs to finish at his top side. Still hasn't cleared his own red either. We'll just now do that for the first time. So that's going to be on a very off timer for the rest of this.
Level 1 red, yeah. Bot side timer is going to interest me the most, though, because Yike, see if he goes for the repeat there. He's got those timers. He's got his Raptors up and available as well, so... As Krugs are still there and available for Lyncas or second spawning of, he still will be up in CS, but remember that gold is neck and neck because Yike did help out Vladi with that kill. And Vladi also, side note, 10 CS up in the lane. Yet again, Casey's laners, whether it be the lane matchup or just the skill, are up once more.
I'm still keeping my eyes on Yike to see what he's going to do here, though, because there is a window where you could potentially just immediately go into the Dragon Pit and try and take that one away. Or you can try and use the push that you have from Caliste on this bottom side to try and go for an invade on this respawning comps from Lyncas. Lyncas is coming out of the jungle to try and counter that, but I think I think it's just Dragon is the better option because Caliste now doesn't have his own reset to try and match Carzzy, who's just... Yeah. Oh, sorry, it wasn't Carzzy TP back in. It was Nako TP back in. Onto the
it's okay. You've got 4 TPs to look at on Vitality side, Dagda. I don't blame you. Fleshy, you're going to be using that one too with the Unsealed Spellbook. But maybe that's just for the next reset. Yike is giving attention, though. That Vitality coming to contest, so he backs off. Bolt breaks over the wall. Dragon still didn't reset, so Lyncas, if he can hold this, is a nice leash.
Could have Canna TP down to this bottom side. Wouldn't mean that Carzzy is the match, but he's in pretty strong position. Actually going to deny Carzzy for being able to enter back into the game.
Look at the burst. Oh, my lord. Canna's level 7. Yes, Dragon's going down, but I'd be scared of top right now. As Canna with serrated Dirk. Dagda, let's see if he cancels. Look top. Mr. Observer, may we have a look, please? Oh, no, doesn't mean you wave in the way. Yeah. That's why our Observer knows more than me. I agree. Fleshy doesn't get there, though. That was a pulverized attempt, and I think he headbutted a minion first as there's a knock-up onto Targamas, but Targamas is a Leona. With the Soul Shield now out, Exhaust in response. Yike is just over the wall, lurking on Krubs. He just picked up his level 6 as well, and Nako, while he puts the cage down and everyone's bullying Targamas, the flash finally comes out, teleport in response, and that's now Canna joining into the fray. They really wanted to kill that Targamas guy.
They tried desperately to kill him, but weren't quite able to get it. It's a little funky, though. You end up investing so much time onto the bottom side that Yike is getting a lead when it comes towards getting back out into the map quicker again and moving towards this top side, whereas Lyncas has a lot more time.
And now Lyncas' time going to be used wisely. Vladi dead, he steps up for that last minute and he's punished for it.
I don't think Vladi was expecting Lyncas to try and go for another play, because as I was saying, like, Lyncas hasn't cleared out his bot side, was actually, until he got the kill, kind of starting to trickle behind Yike on the XP.
Yeah.
And now he's in a position where he's immediately going for Void Grubs as well. So Lyncas is actually making things happen on the Jarvan early, denying, like, not getting his camps, but actually making things happen.
Which is important, right? I mean, his proactivity, he's unpredictable at this point. I think that's what really matters. Is Grubs for now is one taken by Vitality. Maybe Lyncas thinks that's enough. As Yike definitely willing to fight. Cataclysm up, but in return, double buffs, and Yike having himself the tunnel up. Caliste also getting pushed in top as Fleshy in the brush. Headbutt pulverized. No Valkyrie out yet. Satchel charge, repositions, but the bouncing bomb does not connect, and Calista's fine. He's going to emote on them for a little bit as Targamas get big vision off this set bush, and double Grubs in the end go to KC.
Yike level 6 moving towards mid lane though, and also an invade on this top side. Wants to try and force Lyncas away from these Raptors while he's got the KC push on top side.
It resets, patience lost, Lyncas gets the smite down, and as you said, that full bot side camp is just sitting there waiting. So it's a full clear for Lyncas just to move down to, and he'll still maintain that CS lead that he started the game with, where Yike right now, he's trailing in this top side jungle. Thinking, okay, who can we find? Fleshy disengages, and a bit of time wasted for Yike while he's got 3 camps sitting and staring him in the face.
Did end up stealing one of the Void Grubs away. Couldn't quite get the Raptor camp. Now going to move back in towards the spot side. Same when it comes towards Lyncas. I'm pretty sure Lyncas' camps haven't been cycled on this bottom side, so he won't get quite as much experience, I believe, as Yike, although I may have miscalculated
that. That's okay, Dagda.
I think he should be in a position where Yike will actually end up about even Steven on the clear time and on about the same experience level. Lyncas, though, because he's got his red on a lace timer, should be able to get a good amount off of that experience from the red camp that is on that separate timer because he cleared it so late.
Just watching Nako trying to stop this base in the meantime. Canna's going for the all-in trades, and it's fun to watch these top laners fight it out as Fleshy once again mid. Czajek, beautiful trade. And he's kind of getting the measure of Vladi a bit better this game, I should say. As Dragon's up in 140, but KC are definitely hovering a lot around mid. I think protecting Vladi after Lyncas and Fleshy have just been on his case. Vladi is getting perma-camped so far.
But the thing is, Vitality have just been constantly rotating Carzzy and Nako around the map, which is making it really difficult for KC to try and play around Vladi. Traditionally, what you'd want to do is, okay, Vladi, when you have your stun up, we're going to try and go for this play on mid and get the gank onto Czajek. We already saw it on the early levels and worked to great success. But because you're constantly playing catch up and you're getting invaded, it's been difficult to make that play rinse and repeat.
Poor cats. Nako, his wife is out again. Wait to see that if this Jarvan can get anywhere near this top lane. I mean, Canna's just receiving the wave for now. Teleport going to be burned. That's Targamas getting closer towards that dragon in 45 seconds. Yike has gone into the alcove here. I don't think Vitality is... Oh, they did see him now. Like, hang on a minute. What is Yike doing there? And he'll probably get cancelled by Carzzy at this, right? Full steam. No, wave gone, and he stands back.
A little bit of an awkward spot here for Yike, though. His topside camps are going to be spawning in just a few moments and wants to move up there, but you got Dragon in 20 seconds. So I think this should be Vitality able to try and transition down from Lyncas pathing towards this bottom side into a Dragon take, especially with Carzzy at least being able to match some of the push at this stage. And you're still waiting on these first items to be completed by KC as well. So at this stage, Vitality have done enough pressure in the early game to try and avoid too much.
Oh, the flash knock back, beautifully done. KC bring 2 to the party up in top lane, they make it even. And Nako's wife trying to get him off, but Canna still gets the follow up. And in the end, Yike takes the kill. Really slick movement from KC's duo.
Great insect by Canna and knocking them back straight into the hands of Yike. And this is what I'm saying, like, Yike wanted to be on this top side for his camps, but hang on, bot end.
Valkyrie's going to turn into a headbutt pulverize, and Fleshy waits for it, then pulls the unbreakable will out of the bucket. Czajek's there. A rune prison corrupts, and a flag and drag says, thank you, ma'am. Lyncas with a good knock-up, and he's there to receive.
So initially it was a good response by KC to get to play on top lane and avoid that dragon push, but that was an even better response by Vitality because they got the dragon, immediately moved in towards that bottom side, and they're also going to be able to steal away some of these camps that have just respawned for Yike on the bottom half of the map as well. Vitality are going toe-to-toe with KC in this early game.
Much better early game, and it seems like these tools are better. I mean, the comp felt like a bit of a mismatch and a lot of moving elements here. But a Ziggs that's stable, a mid-jungle that's able to keep up with Annie-Vi, and so far a top lane that's able to at least keep within range of Canna.
Yeah, and it was because Targamas was trying to go for protection on towards the mid lane. That didn't end up working out. It meant he got disconnected from the bottom side, and then Fleshy and Lyncas can look for that potential dive on towards Caliste. So really nice job across the board there from Vitality, even bringing Czajek down to the mix. So this is kind of what we wanted to see more of in game one, when you have these roam-heavy mid laners.
Yeah.
But now Vitality have just been doing a good job of it with the Ryze.
Satchel charge sent out. Caliste is just going to cut this around, and some really good movement again as Yike's going to back off. Now, we've been keeping track of Yike a lot this game, obviously because of how important the jungle pathing has been from Lyncas. The invades, the constant invades at that, have really given Vitality some speed to measure in this game. Focus in on Caliste because he's got a Trinity Force that's going to be picked up on the way back here. That means the fight should be quite measurable at a minute 15 when we move to this Herald.
It's still going to be, I think, a difficult enough one for Vitality. Just not based on, although this early game has gone well for them,
yeah.
You've got Carzzy, who is okay at clearing waves and dealing some damage with this Ludens, but not the best and the person you want to be relying on in a team fight. Czajek still has to go up towards his Rod of Ages and hasn't completed his Seraphs either, so he's still waiting to scale into the game. I think at this stage, you're happy that you've already gotten 2 dragons. Now just try and play for sides. Continue to put pressure down. Avoid fights of Rift Herald when you've got these 1-item spikes that are so strong for KC, and play for your 3-4 item spike.
I was just thinking, Dagda, we need more animals in League of Legends. You know, we need like a hippo champ.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be really cool, you know?
Elephant.
We've got elephant, we've got crocodiles, we've got lots of dogs. We've got Nasus, Warwick. Who's the other dog I'm missing? Neferi literally has pack animals. Like we got cat skins. We got Pugmore if you want to count skins. We just need more animals. We need hippos. We need a giraffe champ. That'd be cool. Honestly, we need a slop. I think we need a champion that moves really slowly. That like their wind up for attack takes like 2 seconds. It's mega slow, but it hits like a truck.
That sounds miserable.
It's like a slacking.
Like movement speed is so broken.
Yeah.
Being slow is just going to be awful.
But once the auto goes through, it's unavoidable, much like this fight. All right, 5.5k, and already Vitality are just on the outskirts of it. Nako's coming in with a maiden by his side, but Canna sits on the left, and now Yike does too. The explosive shock blast gets onto Nako, but he draws in the Realm Warp as well. Yike flashes over the wall to get himself a Vault Breaker rather, and he gets out, but for Canna, as he gets low, Vitality's engage is good. They're playing at range, and they get themselves the beat. Lyncas engages a double knockup, and KC are losing the fight. The minefield out as Yike battles about, but Vitality will take 5 in the end. Total to the scoreboard, and the Herald will be theirs as well.
KC scramble to make the fight happen as Yike goes for the pick, but there's no follow-up, and Vitality can pick up the fight on the back of it. You can see here they end up super separated on the mini-map. You've still got Annie in the mid lane, so as KC go for this top fight, it's just Karn who has to try and follow up. He has absolutely no flash to get out of this, and when Vitality reposition thanks to Czajek's ultimate, they're just picking off members one by one. Finally, you do end up with Vladi arriving, but it's already with the fight over. Caliste can't follow, and it's KC falling as they go.
Lyncas, his engages have been great. That guy, 5 out of 5 KP, and he is capping Yike in this game, despite Yike having a really good response with the mid game. But that happened once, and I gotta be honest, you know, Yike on bike, this has been criticism in the past. It's not his best champ. Even though, like, yeah, it's like a 55, 56% win record. I think was stated before the game started. But it is definitely his worst champ when this guy has won championships, when this guy has hit.
I mean, he's a record for the most championships in a row.
There you go.
Yeah. Most titles
he's hit
in a row.
multiple championships, I should say, not just championships, plural. Sorry, Dagda. He's hit titles. Many. The biggest thing is, he's now getting gapped. Look, here he is again. Lyncas forces the flush out of Targamas. Yike here, but his Vault Breaker doesn't connect. And even though Canna's coming in, Shock Blast does not hit anyone. It's all for Dragon. Targamas is low, but Vitality backing out for now.
It's a dragon. If Vitality want to just end up leaving this, maybe you just look for a cheeky smite with Lyncas, but the top tower is being pushed by Nako. Mid tower, as he says, being pushed by Carzzy. Vitality are happy to give this, and this is what I'm talking about. Vitality don't have to take these fights if they don't feel like they got a good window because of that early success they found with stealing these dragons.
It's a nice play. It's a gold play for Vitality. Remember, they got the first two anyway. So you're right, like not being forced into any of these movements as Vladi is on the roam. Fleshy, that's an ingenious angle. He took the blast cone and Vladi's like, wait, someone's coming. Sees the cow, but in the rear vision mirror, he's hitting 110. The engage, the unbreakable will, and Vladi just has to stand there and take it. Fleshy's gonna die for it, but hey, worthwhile. Another turret, another kill, and where it counts, Vitality are really making the speed of this game go. Realm Warp it. Oh! Oh, okay. The tech! Yo! Did not know you could do that. I mean, I knew you could take the Herald, but I didn't know you could mount it and the Realm Warp kept going.
Wait a second, Yike in behind.
Yike is here. Oh, peekaboo, Czajek gets him down. Did I say Vladi? I'm sorry. I meant Czajek. That was insane for Czajek. I'm used to Vladi being on the rise, but yeah, that was nuts.
All other towers down now. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get too much. We kind of just used it as a, hey, I need to get mid and cover Carzzy. But either way, great plays from Vitality. Top down, they get push on the top side, so you end up losing that wave as KC. You got control over mid, and you get the bot tower with the kill. That is such a massive swing in the gold for Vitality. And now they're starting to hit that moment where, okay, we can really start to do business. You're seeing the Seraphs very close to being finished for Czajek. Carzzy getting towards the second item as well. This is now the point where you start to be a little nervous as KC trying to take these fights.
With this 4K gold lead, you definitely feel that they should be nervous at the very least. KC's such a stomp in game one, but this game is completely different. Feels like Vitality have, I don't know, it's weird that they're thriving with this comp. Like, I mean, again, it is off the back of Lyncas. We talked a lot about him in game one where he couldn't do much. He felt kind of flat. But the games where Lyncas is able to I don't know, outpace enemy jungle.
But it's also just the decision-making in fights from KC.
Yeah,
at least that Rift Tower wasn't great, and Vitality did a good job of punishing that and targeting the guy that had no flash. So, like, as much as it's Lyncas, it's also the team as a whole from Vitality working well. And now, as long as they can try and keep playing this 1-3-1, I think they're in a decent spot, and Canna may not be.
He's found a good sidestep. He jumped into Krugs, and that saves his life. Shock Blast also blocked by a Katten. Canna's just going to back out after taking the camp. Now, Arakan is up. Arakan has spawned on the top side of the map this game, and Vitality already there hovering just in case, but Czajek's scared about going over vision. Vladi lurks in the wings, and he'll just go for the wave and nothing else for now. So we are chilling until next drag in 2:15.
Lyncas here to ensure that Czajek can actually get the push. Don't want to try and lose Ryze on the top side and then immediately KC can turn over towards the Arakan.
Really?
To say that, it's Vitality who are starting it up. I'm kind of surprised. Like, you still have to get that push from Carzzy in mid and then rotate him up.
There's a lot of damage. Maybe trying to draw Yike in with Carzzy and Fleshy on the way up. It's still being channeled, like, patience not dropped. On a ward now, they see 8k. And KC moving up. Canna's stuck under turret for the time being with the TP.
I think you want Vitality to just pull off this. Carzzy wants to get more poke down before they fully commit to this. But now, half HP. KC going to try? It looks like... Actually, I think they're just happy for it to reset.
I mean, they look like, oh, Vitality, like, maybe we can keep it aggro. They pull off, you're right. But KC, I mean, it hasn't reset. It hasn't reset. Fleshy goes for an engage and fails. Meanwhile, top gets a little bit dangerous. Remember, no reset here. Yike comes in. There's the engage from Lyncas going deep. Vitality have to be careful how they cook as Targamas is set up in the ring field. The minefield flushes out, and now there's no field for him anymore. Yike is also caught with an ultimate that comes from Czajek from downtown. Nice Realm Warp while top lane is fighting. I thought it was sketchy for Vitality, but they pull the trigger first.
Lyncas ends up jumping on towards Targamas, and Yike tries to help him. But there's just nowhere for the damage to follow. We'll catch it in the replay in just a moment. But everyone on KC gets completely zoned off. Again, Yike just going that bit too far forward when it wasn't ready. Like, you'll see it as you move up into this position. Watch how you just completely zone off everyone here, with Czajek being able to push Caliste back, same with Fleshy, and then the Realm Warp to reposition up into the top side to finish them off. Like, both Vladi and Caliste could do nothing in that fight.
Could not. KC, 4.5k down, 4,500 gold down rather. This is third dragon for Vitality. And I'm sure KC feel the pressure to deny this dragon, not allow another opening in this game that would be sole point for Vitality that have mustered up something special here. Walking into Czajek, Targamas now going to deeply regret. Also, Caliste is already a little bit low to start off the fight. Targamas gets out space, and with the TP coming in, he just gets solo killed by Czajek. This guy Tokyo drifts, and then he just wins the whole movie by himself. That's third dragon for Vitality, and he flies forward. Czajek feeling himself. Lyncas gets the engage, Carzzy gets the kill, and Vitality are running KC down. The other French squad, they got too much praise from game one, and Vitality here to shut them up.
Vitality are determined to hit the postseason. Plays like that are class to see from the Vitality side. And the fact that Czajek just feels so confident to flash forward there, lock people up, knows you got Carzzy in the back, and Fleshy to follow here.
He's just walking under turret into a Tibbers. He doesn't care. Realm Walk going to be used. Fleshy has to use an unbreakable will, so I will say, even though they get out, it's a little bit dangerous for Vitality, but hell, why not? You're so far in the lead, and now sole point on top of that 6k gold margin.
Okay, maybe roll it back just a smidge,
Yeah.
on it, but this is really cool to see. Again, Czajek, great position here, picks off Targamas, who this again is the second time we've seen him just solo face checking towards a dragon, and then Czajek finishing him off. But understanding again, you've got this Ziggs, and he is so good when you can get that lockdown to guarantee him the sweet spot for the ultimate. And Czajek does just that onto Caliste. You then get the follow-up knock-up from Lyncas, but I honestly don't even think it was needed. Vitality popping people where they stand on KC.
He's got fancy feet. Yeah, this individual skill from that man was insane. The Flash E was a rune prison if you're wondering why Caliste couldn't move after the fact. And then Lyncas just knocked the ball down. 4 minutes till Soul's on the board. 40 seconds for Baron now. Maybe we got ahead of ourselves when we said KC were chasing their record of 27-minute win to make the fastest best of 3 of LEC this year. At this point, Vitality have this game, and it is up to KC to say otherwise here, with gold leads in every single lane. And Nako is forced to be reckoned with. I mean, Canna had a huge early game lead, and he's getting out split pushed.
But this is the problem for KC now. So you almost always guarantee that you have this mid push thanks to the Ziggs. And as well, he can always just roam slightly down onto this bottom side and have access to this entire bottom side to keep himself in check as well. And keep his top laner within range of that ultimate. So it's never a fair fight. And Nako doesn't realize he's on a ward though.
He does not. So Vladi gets a stun up, and with this duo, he should be dead. I mean, this is the mistake. He flashes over, gets out. Canna doesn't commit the flash yet, but hold on. Wait for the shock blast, and if there's enough damage is my first question. He flashes in. Canna! Shut down! Other people wouldn't commit for that, but they ain't Canna.
Especially when the Ziggs is on the opposite side, and we were just saying he's got that long range ult, but Canna with the phase rush, able to get in and get out, smooth as you like. And that's what KC need if they want to try and slow down this Vitality war machine. But with Baron up, I don't think they're in a position to really go for it, and Vitality are still holding here just in case KC try to poke their noses in.
It's an annoying brush, but there is a good ward there from Lyncas. They need to clear that. They don't see them in the brush, but they see that, you know, this is quite obvious right now. Fleshy looking to clear that. Yeah, he will. And then the river's quite dark.
Vitality holding in this position, though, is enough to get Canna to reset.
Yep.
You can see him kind of waiting there to see where Vitality showed on the map. They weren't sure if they were going to try and turn over because you have that TP advantage for Nako.
Yeah.
But KC end up not getting that bot lane tower off, and that could have been some nice gold to get into the hands of the Jayce.
Now, I did misspeak a bit. I thought the river was a lot darker, but there are a couple of wards up. But the one from Baron is now control water. But there's that one that Vladi's walking over now that KC are pinging. That is giving a bit of information as to where the next play is. Yike's going to be ganked on top of his walls. He flashes out, he bolt breakers. And there's another summoner biting the dust.
Still need someone to answer for Jayce on that bottom side. Kind of going to start to push in. Vitality looking to play off 2 waves. Maybe they... Actually, to be fair, I don't think the wave clear is good enough from KC to really deal with Vitality if they just set up the siege. So I think it's a good call from Vitality to just trade this bottom tier 1 for the potential top tier 2 here.
Yeah, right. And with Ziggs at this point in the game with 2 items, I feel like for Carzzy, like, his wave clear is insane. They can push turrets that quick. Satchel takes it down. Inner for outer always worth. Canna's still getting this turret, but it's a TP flank. And Dagda, I mean, it's only 1, but this is a sandwich.
But how many members of KC are going to be on this bottom side? Because I don't know if you're going to get outnumbered here as Vitality.
Realm Warp, Fleshy and Czajek come through. Lyncas from mid lane. KC turning this into a push. There's a Cataclysm on top of Canna. He sets it away with his hammer, but he's caught out. Czajek hits again. His Ryze is smooth, and it's a good punish from Vitality, a good move in the end.
The pathing was so greedy from Canna. He has no flash. They could have easily walked into River and walked out that way, but just stands in front of the tower and gives Lyncas the easy slam dunk.
Man, this is meant to be a game where we're glazing Canna's Jayce's 10-1 win rate, but it might be the second loss here as Yike. He's tagged out. He wants to steal on the back end, and Yike is good for it. But hey, with Nako zoning like this at 7k, it's going down quick. Vitality should have this in the bag. Yike on a blast cone. He's going the long way around, but he won't be anywhere near by the time this smite comes through. And Vitality, there's been a couple of plays that have put gold back in KC's basket. But this Baron once again establishes that Vitality here to play.
And Soul in 25 seconds as well. Canna gonna imagine TP out as KC trying to hold control over this bottom side river to make sure they can sneak that one away. But Vitality are coming back out of the map fast, and I don't know if KC have enough control right now.
The back delayed maybe did something, but again, the Baron enhanced recall means that it's 10 seconds until this chicken, I cannot stand it, this sound. There's so many chicken skins in the game.
You wanted more animals.
I mean, I did want more animals, that's true. It's just strange that it sounds like a Gatling gunners. All right, let's lock in. 5 members of KC around the back of Dragon. This one's for Sol.
That ultimate is back up for Lyncas as well, so could end up making the pick here once again. Nako tries to get a flank and get access to Caliste on that back line. Vitality are spread out, and KC need to go.
The wife set up there. I mean, the bottom wave's such an issue. Targamas coming in from an angle. Fleshy matches him straight away. Canna jumps on, and they're like, okay, we'll hit the Alistar, but meanwhile, the peeled off for Dragon. It could just be free real estate. The smite down, Soul inbound, and Targamas now dropping to the ground. The Mega Inferno Bomb zones off the rest, and a 3-man Cataclysm from Lyncas will kill himself for it. But in the meanwhile, it keeps him busy. The wife in our picture-in-picture is pushing and pushing. What a lovely supportive wife that is. Inhibitor drops down while Fleshy takes care of business. And KC are slowly losing the game to an NPC.
Yike failed the Q over the wall, so couldn't get into the Dragon Pit. And now the Maiden is doing all the hard work for Vitality. Gets a Nexus turn.
Marry that woman.
And still chasing Caliste.
Caliste is not going to win this either because Czajek is unstoppable. The base broken, a satchel charge helping, and Vitality, I'm sorry, I was not familiar with your game. Night and day from the start of this series. Vitality here to play as the Baroned up minions now have multiple lanes broken to run in.
The game is in shambles for KC. Vitality have played an absolute stormer. Lyncas from the early game. The control they've had, these realm wars from Czajek, helping to keep the pace of the game up and catch out KC so regularly in these skirmishes. But I want you to keep your eyes on the bottom of the fight here, because as we kind of have everything happen on the top side, Targamas trying to keep Fleshy out of the fight, Vladi constantly threatening with that flash engage, and as KC commits to the top, Yike fails the Q over the wall just underneath the bottom of your screen, which is why he has to walk back up. But now he's completely out of position when the rest of this fight kicks off. Targamas ends up going too far because he's trying to keep Vitality from the re-engage. But Lyncas gives his life here for a good cause, because he knows as long as I can keep KC here, we can shake them down.
Is ending the game.
Nako's Maiden took, I think, 2 turrets and an inhibitor. That's how long she was just there. And a really smart play just to leave Maiden. Take her
just as much as KC has this game.
Yeah, true. Wait, so the Maiden has done more than KC in game 2. And goddamn, if it's not impressive. Vitality, quick reminder for you all. With this last inhibitor turret, Vitality moments away from taking down Na'Vi in the process in their debut split. As the Maiden's back in again. Infuriating, trying to get back to Nako as it's not pressed R. But with a Ziggs, I mean, the siege is just unbelievable when a Ziggs ahead. How do I step up? All those minions are dead. Hang on. There's one minion. Oh, went over a minefield.
And now there's double super creeps on the bottom side, so Vitality going to go.
They're going to lose this game ever so slowly. Fleshy with the 2-man knock up. Mega Inferno Bomb onto Targamas. Tibbers comes out, but Vladi is now isolated. Carzzy's just loving life right now. You got to hear the comps of this one as the Realm Warp sends them in, and yeah, Nako is going to help with that as Czajek is just taking names. What a performance out of this blue man for game 2 as Caliste is the last to go. Everyone else lies deep in grave dirt. Nako's the one who buried their graves. Last Nexus turret. And Dagda. You take 2 games as a sample size. Gliz's going to flash away and try and play this game a little bit longer. But in 32 minutes, Vitality are back. And they kick Na'Vi in the damn teeth in this second game.